Yo, what's up, y'all? My bad. I had to try to find a daggone game and I couldn't get it on my laptop. So I'm out here in the living room area now or in my common area watching the game. So hopefully everybody's doing good. St. Francis is up 6-4 right now. Um they play a 3-2 zone, it looks like. It's a 2-3 actually. Inverted 2-3. That's a 3-2. I don't know. They're just doing like an inverted 3-2 zone situation. St. Francis, that is. Interesting. Auburn hasn't played anybody that plays that kind of zone before. So, what's up to everybody? Um, so yeah, like I said, I'm out here, out in like a little common area in the house now today, since the this is on True TV and I couldn't get it anywhere else, so I had to come to actual television rather than being on my computer. They came out of nope, they're still in the zone. So it's they do like this inverted 3-2 zone. Interesting. So what they really are trying to do is invite outside shots and keep the post away. So it's going to be interesting to see if St. Francis is the team that Auburn plays, how Bruce Pearl decides to attack this zone. Alabama State has some good athletes out here. Man, I don't care who wins, 20-year-old Democrat. I'm telling you right now, just beat whoever it is, bro. James Barnett, are you a Alabama State guy? Now that it's on a commercial break, I'm gonna pause my video and get myself set up a little bit better. I just wanted to come ahead and jump in here since I promised y'all a watch party and I hadn't been on here. Um, Son went to Alabama State. All right, cool. I'll be right back. Let me get myself a little bit more set up here. All right, y'all. Boom. We in here watching this game. Hopefully everybody's had a good day. I'm gonna be chilling today, man. I'm sitting here in my you know what I'm saying, in the regular furniture and stuff, man. Y'all, Teresa locked out of the house. That sucks. How did that happen? Well, you don't have to tell your business all out on the stream, but I'm sorry to hear that. 20-year-old Democrat. I don't think if you've been in the stream before, you're not a common commenter. So I appreciate you jumping in. All right. right, we are back in action here. Alabama State with the ball down 6-4. Again, looks like St. Francis is they might be out of the zone now. They're into a man situation. Alabama State, I see why they're trying to play how they were. Alabama State gets an open three. And we got us turnover out in transition. Another three opposite corner. Bang. Oh, Alabama State got some shooters, y'all. Back to back threes. And State's definitely playing a man defense. They do not communicate well on defense, though. From that, at least that possession, they didn't burn them though. 10-6 now in favor of Alabama State. St. Francis back to the zone. Ooh. I think the St. Francis matchup would be interesting to see how Auburn decides to play against a team that plays this kind of zone offense. Definitely need to be able to shoot the three well when you're playing against a team that plays this kind of zone because they're not going to give you a lot of stuff at the rim. Ooh, good inbounds play. Alabama State's got some athletes on the inside too. This guy who's their center he looks like he got some size on him. Ooh, knockdown three from St. Francis. All right. Listen, man, ain't no slouches in the tournament, dog. Ooh, that looked like an offensive foul. That's what they call too. Offensive foul on Alabama State. They're up 10-9, 14-11 left in the first half. He wasn't set, so I think that's an interesting call, but it definitely was all contact initiated by the offensive player. That's the way that should be officiated in most instances. It's not necessarily about being set. It's about having right to your space. Okay, Alabama State coming out in what looks like a 3-1-3 zone. St. Francis gets a three out of it. Okay, both of these teams look like they got some shooters, dog. 12-10 now in favor of St. Francis. Hmm. It's going to be interesting to see how St. Francis rebounds out of this zone as well. I don't think they have a bunch of size on their team. It's the unfortunate thing about me not being in the office is I don't have my multiple screens to be able to look up stuff. Well, actually, y'all don't care about whether or not I'm doing stuff on here. Let's see here. Where is my nice? Yeah, Alabama State gonna have to come out of this zone. St. Francis is eating his zone up. They were doing better when they were playing man. It seems to me like St. Francis is the better defensive team just early in this game. Let's see. Alabama State, and let me find St. Francis. It looked like a foul, no call. St. Francis definitely, he traveled too. They call a foul on that. All right. All right. Let's find St. Francis in here. Saints. Francis. All right. Okay, so St. Francis. Man, he be tripping, dog. Hopefully you're able to get in soon there, Teresa. St. Francis' tallest player is 6'7", it looks like, 6'8". So they don't really have a tall team. But they look like they defend fairly well from looking at them play this zone. Give it up. Yep. Alabama State definitely has the height advantage here. Tie ball game. Nope. Excuse me. 14-12 in favor of St. Francis now. Is anybody besides Teresa not actually watching the game? Because I can be a lot more descriptive of what I'm seeing if you're not watching the game yourselves. Bucket there by St. Francis and the foul. We should put them up 16-12, pinning the free throw. But yeah, I can be more descriptive of what's going on if you want me. Marion, what's up? Devin. Hey, Teresa about to be in the house. So they play in Dayton and they have to travel down to Lexington, play again on Thursday. That's tough. That's for sure. It's definitely a tough travel schedule and a quick turnaround to scout. But yeah, is anybody? Well, Teresa looks like she's gonna be watching here in a minute. Did anybody else have trouble finding this game? Because that was my issue with getting on here late, trying to get the game to actually pull up somewhere. Like I had to go. Like I said, that's why I'm out here in this chair watching. Um, I knew it was on True TV. I just thought I was gonna be able to log in through my typical means, and that didn't happen. 17-12 in favor of St. Francis. 12 minutes and 12 seconds left. St. Francis staying in this 3-2. It's a pattern matching zone, right? Like it's like it morphs, right? So they're not just a strict 3-2 when the big raises up high. So it's really like a 2-1-2 zone. And then they follow the big so that you don't get that middle zone action that you typically would against most zones where you can throw it to the middle. If it's a 2-3 or a 3-2, you typically have that middle zone area that's available. They send the person that would be in the middle of the zone to either drop down or pull up, to take that middle away. And so what likely you're going to have to end up doing is screening that middle, and then attack the dribble drive from the wing, right? So if you screen middle, that's going to pull one of those top defenders over. You kick wing, and then you can drive down in that way, or you can kick wing and then post. I think it's going to be really interesting if St. Francis is the matchup, how they decide to go offensively against that. True TV has an Android app. Well, see, I couldn't do it on my phone because I wanted to be able to do live stream. If I just wanted to watch the game, no problem. But because I wanted to be able to do the live stream, I needed to be able to have my phone available to me, watch the game, and be able to stream to y'all. So yeah, well, I'm watching it on YouTube TV, but I had to come to my TV to do it, because I don't have the YouTube. Just this the way I had to do it. Anyway, we're at a timeout right now. St. Francis should be going to the line when we get back to complete an and one. But again, we got about 50 people in here. We on the, you know what I'm saying, on the honor system. I'm not gonna go and harass y'all about liking and sharing all stream, but I do want y'all to go do that, please. Justin Cone, what's up, man? Go Gators. None of that. But welcome. Thank you for hopping in, Justin. We appreciate you being in here. You don't have blue stacks on your laptop. You say that like that's like a common thing that I should have. Is I don't even. So let's just start with I don't even know what you're talking about. let's begin the conversation there. What is blue stacks? And then that should answer your question inherently, which is no, I don't have it on my phone because I don't even. I'm on my laptop because I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I know. I probably look fairly technologically savvy, but I am a 43-year-old man, which is, I mean, a lot of 40-something-year-old people are super technological. I'm not. Let me not put my age in there because it's because you can be technologically savvy at any age. No, I don't, and I don't even know what you're talking about. If not, you should get it. It's an emulator that allows an Android app on laptop. Got you. Okay. News to me. I just learned something tonight. BlueStacks. I'll look into it. No double dribble heartbreakers this year. Yeah, man, just go out there and beat people, and you don't have to worry about the refs getting the late call wrong. Don't put yourself in that position. I'm hungry, bro. I came straight home from work. Just been trying to get this together for like the last hour, and now I'm hungry. Did they shoot the free throw? I missed the whole free throw situation. Yeah, Bama State got some shooters. I can tell by the confidence in which they're putting these threes up that they got some guys that can shoot. They definitely have the height advantage. So Alabama State right now looks like they are playing a two. Trying to determine if this is a 2-3 or a 1-3-1. I think it's a 2-3. I mean a 3-2 or a 1-3-1. I can't determine. I can't tell. So both of these teams play a little bit of zone. So again, Auburn has not gone up against zone teams a lot. Good dish, good penetration, good finish. State down 14-17 right now. So both of these teams are playing a good bit of zone. Kick corner, bro. Now you should have went corner. All right. So again, we got about 51 people in here right now. Please share the live with somebody if you want to hear me babble on during this game. I've got the commentators muted, so I'm not hearing um what they're saying on the TV to like hear about like who the players are, people should be watching, all that kind of stuff. I'm just reacting to what I see. And we'll talk about the game once it's over. Once we see who wins, we'll go straight into a reaction on this stream. Oh, that's a foul. Love to see Taha go off like the Houston game. Yeah, man. I want to see everybody go off. Every single player. I want to see 10 players in double digits. Yeah, that's a terrible closeout. Anything on the women's coach? Nothing that I've heard. Mike G has been the one that's been in engulfed in that. Like I do not try to major in breaking news because people try to start coming to you as a source for stuff, and I don't really like doing that, man, because the information that I get from people usually is not something I want to repeat to anybody. And then when I say, hey, I know something and I can't repeat it, then people be acting all butt hurt because I don't want to tell somebody else's story. So I just stay out of it for the most part now, man. And I just react to what happens. I just react. I did see Kelly Harper got the job at Missouri, which I didn't even know Missouri had fired their coach or if coach stepped down, whatever. I saw Molly Miller was the leading candidate for Arkansas. I don't know if she actually took that job. And those were my top two candidates that I wanted. Ooh, the big man can step out and shoot for Alabama State. All right. State got some shooters out here. 17-19 down by two. And then the other person that everybody had been talking about was the dude from Mississippi State, which if he's going to be the guy, they're playing in the tournament right now. So he's not going to even be able to do anything until that's over with. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Sounding like you in what way, James? Wanting 10 players to go to double digits? Would you rather see Michigan or Texas A&M? I don't care. Listen. I've stated many times that I think Texas A&M is a bad matchup for Auburn, but man, bring on whoever, bro. The Final Four in San Antonio, the 5th and 6th. I'm going to be in San Antonio the 4th for my oldest daughter's white coat ceremony. That's what's up. Congrats to her. Think I can get a ticket? Possibly. If you want to pay some bread, ain't no reason why you can't get a ticket. A lot of folks gonna be reselling them mugs that's got tickets and they team didn't make it, so there'll be time. This team kind of feels off. It could be CBM, it could be Cheney, it could be Miles, blah blah blah. Somebody just has to strike a match. Yep. I say I don't care who it is. I just want somebody to go out there and ball, bro. But hopefully 13 people balling, and you ain't even playing up at an 8-man rotation. I hope it's not the Mississippi State coach. Why are so many people against the Mississippi State coach? What is it about the Mississippi State coach that y'all don't like? He's got winning records. He's got Auburn ties. Um, what is it about him that y'all don't like? I think I can get to. Oh well, see a Ford. I don't know what your budget is. That's a different one. Cheney versus Vanderbilt was fire. Yeah, I want to see that Cheney Johnson for 6 more games this season. Oh yeah, that big dude stepping out pulling threes, bro. Yeah, this is a interesting Alabama State team. They got bigs, but the bigs can shoot. Whew, both of these teams look like they got shooters. What is their 3-point percentage, bro? St. Francis is not big, actually. Their tallest, I said this a little bit earlier, their tallest player is 6'8". Alabama State is big though. They got some footers on this team. Let me go look at this. Alabama State's players, they have a 6'10 dude. He's the tallest player on the team, 6'10. And they got a 6'7. Yeah. Oh, they got 7'1 dude. So they got 7'1 dude and a 6'10 dude. So yeah, they got some legit footers on this team. I really don't want to get tickets for San Antonio, but I don't want to have to resell them. I feel you. I feel you. Bama State got some shooters. Yeah, it seems like both of these teams have shooters. On the next commercial break, remind me, I'm gonna go take a look at their 3-point shooting percentages on the year. Both of these teams are playing zone, which invites these 3-point shots that are happening right here. 24-20 right now in favor of St. Francis. Ooh, nice, easy bucket right there. Yeah, you can't take either one of these teams lightly, man. They're gonna come out here and try to upset you. You got to play like you think that they're going to do that. So this is a very interesting. It starts as a 2-3 zone. That St. Fran. Oh, Alabama State with another three, bro. Golly, these boys is bombing out here. It starts as a 2-3 zone, but then how you usually attack a 2-3 is you're going to flash somebody to the high post / middle. So what they do is they walk the man that's in the middle of the bottom three up to take away that, and it inverts to a 3-2. And that looks like the same thing Alabama State is playing defensively, is a 2-3 that converts to a 3-2. Interesting. Head into Lexington tomorrow. That's what's up. Auburn about to be up to bat in the bottom of the first, playing Alabama State. Yep. All right, so we're on the break. Let me take a look at the 3-point shooter percentage. Excuse me for the yawn there. They who am I? St. Francis shoots 33.4% on the season. In neutral site games this year, they have shot 33.4%. Pretty consistent 3-point shooting team. 32.5 it drops to when you factor in away games for them this season. So strictly neutral site games, 32.5, excuse me, is the percentage for them on the season. I need to look and see how many threes they average shooting a game to. Alabama State shoots 32.9 as a team. When you go to what they've done in neutral site games, that goes to 33.3. So both of these teams, mid 30s 3-point shooting teams as a whole. Looks like both teams play a 10-man rotation. They're going to have to, the way they play defense. My Auburn daughter has to fly into Houston and drive me to San Antonio because she couldn't get tickets to San Antonio. We finally figured out why. Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of a lot of things going on in San Antonio. Why can't they shoot like this, Cam? Take them seriously. I don't think that they can run their stuff on RD. Maybe 4-bit. So that's the thing, right? Both of these teams are playing zone. Auburn's not going to zone up the teams. So the 3-point shots that they're getting right now are by virtue of the defense that's playing them. Auburn guards very differently than both of these teams guard, so they're not going to get the same looks But this also doesn't give me a good idea of what they run versus man action. I'm going to have to go look at some other games for them to determine if you're playing man against them, what kind of action do they typically run and what kind of shots are they typically getting out of that. But when you're playing zone teams, you do tend to get more 3-point opportunities. So both of these teams are getting opportunities that they're not going to get as fluidly as they would against Auburn. So I am interested to go look at tape from one of the teams to see, or whoever wins to see, okay, what kind of action do they typically run? Nephew goes to state. They haven't hit this many threes the whole year, and I've been to several games. Well, hey, listen, you definitely have more perspective than me on that. I have not watched a single Alabama State game this entire season, but again, they're a mid-30s 3-point shooting team, which in the country that would put them in top 200 to, well, actually top 250. Uh, Alabama State's in the top, well, on neutral sites. Let me go in and readjust this to the season. Um, Top 220 in 3-point percentage. So they're an average 3-point shooting team by the statistics, but again, they're going to get more threes playing against this zone. So St. Francis at the free throw line, knocking down free throws. Let's look at their free throw percentage on the season. St. Francis as a team is shooting, looks like they're in the 72% from the free throw line. So they can shoot free throws fairly well as a team. Missed the second. 5-point game. St. Francis up 27-23. But that's good, Cam. If they're shooting well above their ability right now, that gives you confidence that in the next game they're not going to shoot this well against a better defensive squad in Auburn. But that zone is going to invite these threes. This is the danger for Auburn playing these zone teams, is that you're going to get looks from three and you have to resist. All right, here's my first post touch that I've seen all game for either team. St. Francis going to the paint. What is the call here? They call a hook on him? What was that call? I need to turn the daggone volume up or put the closed caption on. Where's my remote on? Oh, he definitely hooked him. I ain't even got it. I just watched the replay again. My boy hooked the fool out of him. It's a great call. Alabama State fouls a lot. Let's see. I mean, both teams. I mean, St. Francis is already in the bonus, and Alabama State is one thing away from the bonus. Another three from Alabama State. Again, if they're shooting above their heads, they're definitely doing a good job today. 26-27. They out here knocking threes down today. What's that, like the fourth or fifth three? Ooh, very physical defense in the post. Ooh, physical game. Yeah, Auburn's gonna have to battle with these boys, whoever it is. Another three, short air ball. I'm watching it on YouTube TV. See, it's hard, like I see now why both of these teams are bad rebounding teams. Though both of them play zone, and it's hard to rebound out of a zone. It's easier to rebound with your playing man because it's man a hand on man to go block box out. Mid range game, nope. Had a chance to take the lead, missed it. Oh, good defense. Backcourt violation coming. Oh, steal. Oh, he flubbed it. Oh, he flubbed it. He had to steal and lost it. I'm positive Auburn is watching this game. Like, it doesn't even make sense for them not to watch this game. There's no way that they've been watching a bunch of St. Francis and Alabama State games for them to not watch and see how they're playing and see what kind of momentum they have going into this. Foul. Golly. Yeah, you're right. Bama State. That I said. I mean, two of these fouls have been on awful closeouts. Like I just like, what are we doing here? Awful closeout. And one. Stephen Pearl said they have coaches at the game this morning on the next round podcast, which makes sense. Missed another free throw though. 29-26. 4 minutes left in the 4 minutes left in the 4 minutes and 39 seconds left in the half. St. Francis up by 3. Another 3 on the way. Ooh, another air ball. All right, my boy. It's time to start taking that to the lane. All right. 32-26 now in favor of St. Francis. I hate this TV angle, bro. Give me the sideline angle. What are we doing? It ain't time for y'all to be experimenting with different angles, man. Don't nobody like no baseline view of a game, bro. Ooh, ooh. Go corner. Drive it baseline. Bro. All right. I wish I could do like a telestration for y'all, man, and talk and really show you some of the stuff I'm talking about. I'm not recording this game like I normally would. To show some of the stuff. I see because it's not on. I'm not watching it on my laptop. If I was watching this on my computer, I could record the game on my laptop and show you what I mean. As far as I'll see if I could do that. So after we get a winner, I'll go and try to pull up a game maybe on YouTube or something for one of the games for the team that won, and show you some of the stuff that I'm talking about of ways that they can attack this zone that I think would work. But you're not going to see a lot of the action that Auburn typically runs because they're going to be going up against zone. But um, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of zone looks they try to deploy offensively against a this converted 2-3 zone. When do they play next after Thursday? It's Thursday and Saturday. You are correct, Daniel. Thursday, Saturday. If Auburn does a full court press, maybe over by the first media timeout, the way we make it difficult to get the ball in. I mean, I ain't gonna say that all that, but I will say that I think the strategy in this game should be to turn up the defense with your athleticism and really make it uncomfortable for them. Because again, I don't know really what kind of offense this team runs, and I think athleticism wise, you have the guys to be able to do that, and depth wise, you have the ability to do that type of stuff. Let's see. Friday, Sunday. Auburn plays Thursday, Saturday, not Friday, Sunday. That would be helpful. I'll try to see if I could do that for y'all, man. Yeah, I know that's always an issue playing something that they'll suspend the stream for. But I'll see what I could do. Favorite Auburn basketball moment this year: Miles Kelly's 3-shot versus Tennessee, good one. Broom tipping versus Iowa State, beating Alabama on the road, all good ones. I probably like the moment. Like, it's got to be the Broom one right now for me versus Iowa State would probably be the biggest because that's a game winner. Like the Miles Kelly one was a game winner too, but it wasn't the last shot of the game. So I think I would take the broom tip in versus Iowa State as the biggest moment or my favorite moment of the season. Alabama State hasn't taken a single field free throw in this game. St. Francis has 8 turnovers. I like that. I like that. Celebration at the end of the Maui Invitational. Yup. I think Auburn locks in what happened with the last 4 games against Yale 2 senior Oriole team now or never. They better. They definitely better, or they gonna get embarrassed. And I don't mean embarrassed by like just run off the floor. I mean embarrassed by just losing, period. Like, okay. This St. Francis team seems like they got some smart players. This Alabama State team, somebody said it already, fouls a lot. They absolutely do. It's a very physical defense, but they foul a whole bunch. But I think that that's just kind of their brand of basketball is physicality, and they want to turn this in, not necessarily like muddy the game up, but they definitely don't mind being very physical on drives, on post ups, very physical defense that they play right here. Well, yeah, you're right, Marion. They're shooting threes, can't get fouls that way. That's the issue is that they're not really. I don't know what the points in the paint is right now because I'm not looking at a stat thing. They can't have very many points in the paint because they're not getting to the paint. St. Francis breaking up the free throws though. There we go. There's a foul on a there. Here, about to get their first free throw opportunity right here. Yeah, see, I'm not gonna be showing the game on my stream, y'all. So you're gonna just be getting me reacting. If you thought you was gonna come here and get a peek at the game and you didn't have to watch what's call it, then I'm sorry. That's not what this is. I should have called it a watch along, but this is just me watching the game along with y'all live. Maybe that's why I only had 50 some people in here because people was like, man, I don't want to sit here and listen to this dude talk, which is fair. I don't know that I would want to listen to me talk either. I get tired of listening to me talk too. DC is listed as a center for Auburn, the only one. Both small forwards and ASU have 2 centers. Oh, both St. Francis, excuse me, and Alabama State have 2 centers. If DC gets into foul trouble, does Janai Broom fill in? Yeah, Janai Broom definitely. I mean, Janai plays center when Dylan Cardwell's off the floor. Ooh, that's a foul. Um, Off the floor already. So yeah, that's a natural rotation. When he Cardwell comes off of that first rotation and Cheney comes in the game, Janai is the center. Dum, dum, dum. Oh, cookies. This Alabama State's got a nice defense, though. I will give them that. Nope, that's going the other way. As St. Francis ball that went off Alabama State player's foot. Um, that is the second steal that they've gotten in the backcourt and not been able to convert, though. Is Broom to Auburn basketball what Cam Newton was to Auburn football? No. No. Broom's good, but he did not transform the team in that way. And Auburn football, nah. Nah. Auburn basketball was already okay before he got there. Nah. If Janai Broom had taken a team that had barely won any games the year before to like a national championship, then okay. But nah. Ooh, deep three from St. Francis. There we go. A drive. Nice finish. Reverse lay. 20 or better against either one. Book it. 6-point game right now with 1:25 left. I am very interested to see how Auburn will go against these zones. Very interested. Ooh, ooh. The action that they just ran, that St. Francis just ran, I could see Auburn running that exact same action. Yep, one more. Oh, he should have went one more, but knocked down. St. Francis with another 330. Ooh, cookies. Foul. Yep. All right. 7-point game, 27.4 seconds left in the half. I would like to see Auburn put this one away by halftime, early second half, and give a lot of minutes to their bench. And listen, I want to see them do it. 6 straight games of putting it away by halftime is what I want to see. Unlikely, but that's what I want to see. The homer in me wants to see him just get them up out of here early in every game. Dylan Carver will have 12 points by himself if they play the zone in the dunker spot. So again, that's why I say I'm interested to see how they're going to play this, right? Because the way that these zones morph, the way that they're playing, it's very much like what Jim Boeheim used to do with Syracuse, how they're playing these zones. But I wonder if any of these guys are Boeheim disciples. But I am very interested to see what kind of action that they're going to run and what five that they tried out there, right? Like, you've got a lot of guys with a lot of athleticism that you might not even have to go big, but you have the big lineups. And how are you going to use a Dylan Cardwell in a game like this? Dylan Cardwell better have like 12 boards versus either one of these teams, dog. Don, what's up? I got in late myself. I ain't gonna hold you. St. Francis winning right now, almost half times. State coach was under Barbie at Auburn. So that means he didn't learn basketball there. Cardwell had an incredible game versus Iowa State. He did. Definitely had a good game there. I think he had his career high in that, or was it Memphis? He had his career high. One of those games over in Mount, he had his career high. We looked at that earlier in the season when somebody asked about Dylan Cardwell. It was Memphis. Oh, that's what you meant to say, Memphis. Okay. I think he had a good game versus Iowa State too, though. I actually don't remember. I remember Chad coming back in the second half is really what changed the trajectory of that game. Just watched that Memphis game today. I needed to see that team out on the court this weekend. It's matchups, y'all. Like, it's matchups. It's not how. I was actually just having this conversation with somebody. If you really go back and look at these games that Auburn has played this season, there are a couple of things that absolutely contribute to what you see right now. And a lot of them have always been apparent on this team the entire year. One of them is Auburn's always been a bad rebounding team all year. They've not been a good rebounding team. They rebounded the ball well against Houston early in the season, but for the most part this year, they've been a bad rebounding team. A big difference rotationally is JP Pegues. A lot of people forget this. As much as they didn't like JP, he was playing a lot of point guard, which allowed Tahad Pettiford to be off the ball a lot more, which allowed him to be more of a scoring threat and not have to be a ball dominant scoring threat. He could come off the ball, they would run sets for him. So that's a big difference now in what it was earlier in the season. And then additionally, I think teams have just had more time to kind of scout what this iteration of Auburn looks like. And so they're more prepared for some of the things that Auburn does traditionally. Now, Auburn has been running some different sets of late to give teams some different things to look at. And they haven't run a lot of sets that they ran a lot earlier in the season, I think, just so that they can come back to that stuff later. But like, if you pay attention, Auburn really has been the same team all year. They really have. Mm. Intentional foul maybe here. It's interesting. That Memphis game, they played really good defense against a team that likes to shoot a bunch of threes. And that actually plays into the hand of Auburn, especially because a lot of what Memphis does with their 3-point shooting is off of dribble penetration, and Auburn shuts that down fairly well. Um, Good bucket there at the end of the half, 34-39 in favor of St. Francis. All right. So, based upon this first half, what do y'all like about what you see from both of these teams? What do you dislike as far as a matchup with Auburn? Dun, dun, dun. 54 people in here, man. Come on, y'all. Somebody talk back to me. I don't like how many threes each team is putting up. Yeah, they definitely hoisting that thing. What's the score? It's 54, 57. Am I right? I'm not even looking at it anymore. Let's go back to this. It is 39. I don't know why I said 50. I'm tripping. 39-34. I said 50 something, but 39-34 in favor of St. Francis right now. St. Francis has zero offensive. I told you it's hard to rebound out of a zone. It really is. Auburn should be able to get in on this zone and get some boards. It's hard to, especially offensive rebounds out of a zone. Um, um, no, you said offensive rebounds. Wait a minute. They should be able to get offensive boards. They're not. They're not as tall. That's right. St. Francis is the smaller team in this one, so it's going to be difficult for them to get boards in general. Um, but yeah, I'm cooking dinner. Give me a minute, and I'll check the stats. Yeah, I'm checking them right now, Don. I got it, buddy. I got it. Box score. I just had to get over on this different screen. All right, so if we're looking at the team statistics here, um, both teams shooting over 40%. St. Francis is shooting 59.1% from the field right now. That seems like that'll level off considering how many threes they've shot. 6 of 12 from three for 50%. Alabama State is 6 of 18 from three for 33.3%. That's right around the percentage that they normally shoot. They're probably just shooting more threes. Free throws, St. Francis is 7 of 10. Alabama State ain't taking a single one. Uh, 18-13 in favor of St. Francis in rebounding. Only one offensive board this entire game for either team, and that's for Alabama State. 10-8 is the differential in assists in favor of St. Francis. 7-1 is the steal differential in favor of Alabama State. 2 block shots from St. Francis, the smaller team. That's interesting. 9-3 turnover differential in favor of Alabama State with only 3. 15 points off of turnovers for Alabama State to only 5 for St. Francis. Fast break points are even at 10. Fouls 9 on Alabama State, 6 on St. Francis. Largest lead is 9 in this game. So combined, they have put up 33 pointers and made 12 in this game. They are definitely shooting that bit. Which team you rooting for, Ike? I don't care. Bring either one of them on. I don't care nothing about it. I want to see whoever is there. Did I fill out my bracket yet? I didn't. I did. So I I have a bracket challenge going on my splash page. So that's the only bracket that I did. I didn't do any of the like blank brackets. So if anybody wants to join my splash bracket though, let me go and throw this up here for y'all for you to be able to get in on that. Throw this in here for y'all. In case anybody wants to join my splash bracket. It's $5 to join. Potentially win you some bread. Mike G watching somewhere. I have no idea what Mike G is doing today. Appreciate you, Kimberly. B Will's doing just fine. Just talked to him yesterday. Was that yesterday or was that today? That was yesterday. I talked to B Will. Yeah, he's doing just fine. Just been working a lot. Statistically, Alabama State is up big, but not on the scoreboard. I wouldn't say statistically they're up big. They've definitely caused more havoc, but St. Francis is shooting like 50% from three, and points in the paint definitely in their advantage. Plus, they've gotten points from the free throw line. That's been the difference in this game. St. Francis wins more fundamentally sound. Okay. Let's see. 4-2 Auburn in bottom of the second. That's what I like to hear. Do you think should we get a lot of second chance points? Yes. If they're going against this zone versus smaller teams, especially if it's St. Francis, yes, Auburn should get chance points. They need to get in the habit of crashing boards and being committed to the glass game one. I don't care who it is. I want to see a ferocity on the boards from them. Do you think that this is the most complete team to enter the NCAA tournament? Who do I think who is the most complete team? A combined 22 points in the paint by both teams. What does that show Auburn? Not sure how to interpret that stat. Is Auburn the most complete team in the tournament right now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Florida's the most complete team in this tournament. Whoever wins this game doesn't matter. It'll be an instant win for Auburn. Who's next? Marquette or New Mexico? Neither. Next up would be Creighton or Louisville. Um. Oh, you mean for Auburn history? Is this the most complete team Auburn has had entering the tournament? That's a good question. Um, I'd say yes. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Because the 2019 team, as good as they did not really have a Janai Broom type post presence where they could play on the interior in that way. They've got 3-point shooters. They've got guys who can generate. Now, like man for man, there were some players that I would say were better or on a more dangerous on that Auburn team in 2019. But yeah, complete, I'd say yeah for Auburn for sure. But I agree with you. I don't care who wins this game. Auburn should win regardless. Auburn's defense will shut either team down. It ought to be a runaway. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. Auburn has the athleticism that Alabama State has, except they play a very different style of defense. The only thing I would worry about in this game versus St. Francis is they seem to embrace the physicality and they've gotten to the free throw line quite a bit. Can Auburn defend without fouling and keep themselves out of foul trouble so this game doesn't get close from that perspective? That's the only thing that I'd be worried about right now watching this St. Francis team. Alabama State needs to get a little tighter outside. Yeah, they're not defending well out top, and they're giving St. Francis a lot of looks. But St. Francis is really shooting over their heads right now too. They're a team that on the season we just looked at shoots typically 33%, 34 at their best, but they're shooting 50% from three right now. Right, so like they're shooting way out of their weight class right now. Is that going to level off a little bit? And can Alabama State defend a little bit better without fouling here in the second half? That's going to be the question. I'm going to go grab my light on here so I don't have this goofiness going on. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, we back. Let's see what y'all talking about here. Look at Bruce when he was hired in 2014. Look at him now. Auburn has aged that dude. I mean, he's a lot older. So is it Bruce Pearl's birthday today? Stop fouling in the earlier games. We can pick it up later in the tourney. Excuse me. Auburn should smoke either one of these teams. I think Auburn's going to start driving to the basket in the tournament. It seemed like that was part of their strategy versus, I think I said this. A lot of what they wanted to do versus Tennessee was about driving. So it seems like that's already been something that they focused on a little bit more, is trying to get to the basket. They got to get them foul calls though. All right. My freshman year, Auburn was in 2010, Cam Newton season. Last senior home game in the Iron Bowl. 1 second on the clock, kick six. Auburn has given us so many fun moments. Great time to be down there, Kimberly. All right. Say, did I ever put the link to that thing in here? I've been doing so much stuff at one time. In case, oh, I did. So if anybody wants to join the my bracket challenge, I'm gonna put that in here again. I need to pin this so anybody coming up here. Oh, actually, let me do this like this. And I'll pin that in the chat so y'all can go and check that out. Sign up if you want to. Get that pinned in this here on chats. All right. Alabama State pulls this one out. Okay. I don't have no predictions for it. I haven't watched either of these teams play. Um, from a analytical standpoint, Alabama State is 274 in Bar Torvik. St. Francis is 301. So I don't know that that means anything, but Alabama State is the higher rated team of the two. State's going to have to figure out a way to get to the lane a lot better in this half than they did in the first half, though. They're taking way too many threes. They're settling for too many threes. Which team do we have a better chance of beating by 40? All of them. Everybody. Am I going to Lexington? I absolutely plan on making that trip to Lexington. I will not be there for the Thursday game, but I should be there for the Saturday game. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I think I'm gonna actually, instead of just making this one long stream, I think I'm gonna do a separate stream reaction to this game so I could go actually set up in my other room where I normally would be. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I gotta eat at some point in time, y'all. Stephen Pearl says the team has a new energy. This break is a great reset. Here's my thing. Would you expect them to say something different? Would you expect them to be like, no, I'm not signing off of this, Don. I'm saying like at the end of the game, I'm gonna do a different reaction stream, but I'm gonna just keep this. I'm gonna keep this rolling through the second half. I'm saying like instead of doing a post game on this stream, I think I'm gonna do a post game on a separate stream. Do we know what time the Saturday game is? I actually think that is scheduled already. Let me look at this situation. Looks like State needs needs to get a little closer on the threes. I think they need to come out of that zone. If they all they play is zone, then Trevor says 150. I'm gonna trust y'all in the chat that have looked this up. I have not. I do know it's a midday situation though. It's like the first game of the day there in Lexington, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I do. Excuse me. That's what I hate about the Thursday game. It is it's an early game, so I won't be able to. I will be at work during that game, so I won't even be able to watch it for real. What channel is the Thursday game coming on? That's what I need to know. I ain't trying to be. I'm gonna be at work cussing at the computer screen. Alabama State's got 19 bench points. St. Francis doesn't have a single one. So there's interesting. Let's look at their rotation so far. Like how many guys are they playing? Box score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're playing 9. And they're playing 1, 2, 3, 4. Bama State's playing 10 guys, or had 10 guys have gotten minutes so far in the game. St. Francis is giving 9 guys minutes, but none of those guys have even put up a shot that came off of the bench. Is there another father-son coaching staff in the tournament or league? Oh, it's a good question. I don't know. Glad Denver is healthy again. Hope Auburn stays healthy. Denver still looked like he was limping a little bit in that Tennessee game. He did not look 100%. He was playing, but he didn't look 100%. All right. Looks as if St. Francis is coming out in man now. Okay. That didn't look like the zone that they were playing earlier. That looked like man. So I'm now this is very interesting because this is going to give you a better look at what Auburn is used to seeing from teams. It still looks like a zone though. They playing like that's not a box one. Like I don't. Yeah, it still is 2-3 zone, 3-2 convertible 3-2. Still. You should have went the other way. I thought you almost threw that away. Travel. Okay, they called it. Everyone complained about Louisville. I don't know that I understand people complain about Louisville other than them saying, oh, it's going to be a quasi home game. Who cares? I don't care, man. We can play them at Louisville University for all I care. Beat the brakes off them fools, bro. There, Alabama State getting to the lane. There we go. Hoping SEC team upsets Duke. Bring on anybody but Florida. I ain't gonna hold you. I think Florida. Bring on everybody except Florida. Have y'all already said Rick Pitino and Richard Pitino regarding father son coaches? I don't know any father son coaching duos, so I haven't said that. Ooh, nice pass. Knockdown. Come on. Shoot the daggone ball. Boom. Another three. St. Francis in the corner. Mm. Up and under move. Nice. Got to stay on the floor, big man. 5 point game. 4 point game, excuse me. Math. 38-42 in favor of St. Francis. Mm. Mm. Okay. I don't I don't like the way St. Francis just handled that half court trap. That's something you might could see Auburn go to as a half court trap. I don't like the way Alabama State closes out to shooters at all, though. I hate it. I hate it. They've looked like they picked up their defensive intensity a little bit out top, but that they're giving up the backdoor stuff a little bit now. Pause. Do you think Georgia beating Florida was just a fluke? Florida dominating lately. I wasn't a fluke. Florida's not incapable of losing a game. But you gotta look at that. Florida almost came back and won that game. They're just a good team. But it's not like that was the only loss of the season they ever had. So I think the rematch with Florida looks a lot different. Florida is not as good as advertised. I disagree, Donovan, wholeheartedly. They are just as good as advertised. But hey, listen, that's your opinion. I think Florida's really good. Ooh, Bama State getting to the lane a lot better this half. Kickball. A lot better getting to the lane this half. I didn't like that finish attempt right there. He tried to go scoop again like he did on the last one with the up and under move, and it wasn't as good a look. But like the fact that they're going to the lane a lot more in this half. Do we see Florida getting the tourney? Only if we make the Final Four, and they do too. The matchup on Georgia. What about the matchup on Georgia? People say that is just bias against Auburn. I have seen so many analysts and naysayers say that we won't make it out of the second game. Just keep that same energy throughout. Hey man, I don't at this point in time, what folks are saying is super irrelevant. Auburn just got to go handle business. Nice floater in the lane there. St. Francis now up 8. The matchups on Georgia with Florida. I love my Tigers, but I think Florida has the best shot at winning the national championship. I think Florida has the most complete team right now, but Auburn still has a really good shot. But it's just gonna be on matchups, man. Like I just think that they match up well with some teams, they don't match up well with others. So we'll see what kind of matchups they actually get. After after all the Auburn lost 3 out of 4 games talk, I'm glad they didn't mess up the number one overall seed. That was BS talk in the beginning. I would have had a whole conniption if Auburn hadn't been the number one overall seed, bro. Yeah, this St. Francis team is not a good rebounding team. Nothing that I see about them in the way that they even attack boards makes me say, oh, this team could rebound well. Step back tree. Nope. Imagine this Auburn versus Alabama in San Antonio for the national championship. I think the Alabama National Guard would have to be on standby. If Grant Nelson isn't healthy, Alabama's not sniffing the national championship this year unless Darian Reed is going to come back and be way more effective than he's been so far from his injury. Six dubs. That's all you need, baby. I say that's all like that's easy, but that's the number. 6 wins, one game at a time. We'll let the rest of the bracket handle it. Now is the time to just list, man. Who's the next opponent in front of you? We can do all this who they might match up with, this and there, and blah blah blah. Right now, it's the winner of this game. Auburn needs to focus on that and get the win and not look past them trying to see who's gonna come up next. Beat the team in front of you. Want to know every game. That is correct, Mr. Bradford. Think UConn beats Florida. Okay. Hey, listen. I don't care who. Like I said, I don't care who beats who. I just want Auburn to beat whoever they play. Let's see. Alabama, Mississippi State, Alabama, Duke in the Elite Eight. That would be two fantastic basketball games. Duke is going again. If Grant Nelson's not playing, Duke is going to absolutely run Bama off the floor. They play like they did on that run. Look out for everybody else on what if who plays like what they did on what run. Sorry, y'all. I might do. No, I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. Never mind. I ain't gonna do that. Forget that thought. If Auburn plays like they did on what run? We playing Creighton or Louisville? Yes, that we are playing Creighton or Louisville. I don't know yet. They haven't played the game yet. Michigan State. Oh, I knew who you meant when you said MSU. Did I say Mississippi State? I meant to say Michigan State. I knew that's who you meant, but like in my brain, for whatever reason, I went SEC mode. I like our path. AU is capable of beating anyone we face. Like I ain't gonna hold you. I don't care what path it is. Go win, bro. Auburn just need to handle business. As far as favorite to win national championship, do you favor the team with 16 quad one wins over the season, or the team playing the best in the moment like Florida? Best in the moment. Best in the moment. Momentum is a real thing in basketball. When they went with no losses. All right. Bama State extending pressure up the floor. St. Francis breaking it pretty easily. Ugly floater. Ugh. Disgusting, young man. What is that? Oh, Alabama State is cold shooting right now, though. I have seen some decent looks that they've missed here. But yeah, Bama State is going to a trap, a full court pressure situation. They forced a couple of turnovers here, turning up the pressure. If the current one seeds make it to the Elite Eight, which is more likely to get knocked out in the Final Four? Um, I don't know. I just want Auburn to win. Ugh, ugly shot from Alabama State. Ugly shots. Nice dump down. That's a foul. Yeah, brother, you fouled him. I like the St. Francis team. They're very disciplined. They do now. Again, Alabama's athleticism is definitely bothering them. I mean, Alabama State's athleticism is definitely bothering them, especially when they get up and start pressing. But they're a little undisciplined on defense. They're just kind of chaos, right? And so I think that that could bode well for Auburn if Auburn comes out and pressures this St. Francis team. Now, St. Francis can make you pay because they do make good decisions, but I do think Auburn can really just kind of rattle off points if they just ratchet up pressure against this team, based upon what I'm seeing from this Alabama State team right here. Nice drive. One more. Corner. No, buddy. Go baseline. Good drive. You got to embrace that contact, though, big dog. So, what I'm seeing a lot from St. Francis when the bigs are getting the ball and looking to pass back out of the paint is baseline double team off ball. So, blindside double team off ball. I wonder if that is a just kind of a routine principle of theirs to go and try to rake at the ball in that way because they don't rebound the ball well. They try to get those little latent steals in that way. And if we see when Janai Broom gets post touches, if they're going to bring most of their double teams off of the baseline, that's something to look out for. Good drive, nice lay, 4-point game. Alabama State trailing 44-48. State's playing loosey goosey. That's funny. Good to see you in the chat, Hugh. I don't think I've seen you in a minute. Ooh, can't reach, my boy. Can't reach. Alabama State coach out there. Somebody was saying the other day that they don't see a lot of African American coaches that are they like usually laid back. This Alabama State coach definitely is not. I'm ahead of you, Don. My bad, brother. Floater. St. Francis, 6-point game, 50-44. See, okay, so again, I hate to contradict narratives if we play like we did in Maui, right? North Carolina's not good. Memphis is a bad matchup. They were down by double digits in the first half to Iowa State. You're not going to be able to do that in the tournament, be down by double digits. Now, Chad Baker-Mazar was hurt in the first half, but I think people forget what a struggle that game was and how bad Auburn was playing defensively. Iowa State getting a bunch of easy stuff in the first. Like Auburn's really played the same almost all year. It's not been a difference. Like the difference was they won those games, not that they really played better in those games. Go back and watch the Iowa State game again. Memphis, bad matchup. North Carolina, not a very good team. So you play teams, the tough team that you played, you beat them at the buzzer. I think Auburn's been playing the same all year, y'all. Again, a lot more stuff at the lane. St. Francis team is challenging at the rim for a team that doesn't have a lot of size. They challenge at the rim well. Get that out of here, boy. Yeah, I would love to see Yale again just to shut all of that Yale stuff up from last year, bro. He was an assistant coach at Auburn. Yeah, somebody said that earlier. He was on the Barbie staff. Auburn 5-3 over Alabama State in the fourth inning. Outfielders are asking me the score during breaks. Nice. 3-corner. Ugh. 1-point game. 12 minutes and 11 seconds left. I absolutely think that if Alabama State really turns up their defense, that they can really go on a run here and get a lead. But I don't know that they play with enough depth to sustain the level of defensive intensity that they need. Here we go. They got an opportunity to take a lead on this possession. Here you go. Get to the lane. 3-ball. Bang. Clang it, clang it, clang it, clang it, clang it. St. Francis shooting 53% from the field and from three. I tell them they're shooting a very efficient game right now. That's not based upon what. Oh, that was a nice floppy action to get that 3 right there. I like that. Are they running? They ran floppy out of a zone. Interesting. I just don't know that they're going to shoot this well against Auburn. Number 3 does not be handling the ball so much. Number 3 for who? Y'all got like, I'm not familiar enough with these teams to know what y'all talking about with this. Will we get a breakdown of whomever we play on Thursday? That's the plan. Heavy, you already know how I'm coming, brother. What you mean? Will we be getting a breakdown? Are you talking to Ike Jones or not? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't in the office right now. I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying, in my little chair or whatever, but I'm still me. I'm still me. Yeah, still haven't taken a single free throw, bro. It's all good, heavy man. You know it's all love here, man. It's love, heavy. If they shoot this well against Auburn, then we got some problems. If they shoot this well against Auburn, Auburn still ought to dub. Doesn't matter. Janai, Dillon, and Cheney should all have double-digit points against either team. Um, so here's where I'm not sure on that. Unless they're getting it off of boards, I don't know how they do that against the way that St. Francis plays. Well, either team really plays zone. Um, it's gonna it's difficult for me to see a guy like Dylan unless he's getting them off of boards, or they're gonna be throwing a lot of lobs to get double digits against a team that's playing this much zone. Um, Auburn versus Alabama final. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Not because I don't want to play Bama again. I don't want to see them get that far. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be a hater. You can call me whatever you want to. I don't want to see Bama get far enough to be in a final versus Auburn. Just don't want to see it. Neither St. Francis or Alabama State has any fast break points. Auburn's defense will rattle them. I'm hoping so. Number 3 on Alabama State is no Oscar Robinson. Screw Bama. Factuals. Now you talking, Wesley. Screw Bama. I don't want to, not because I don't want to play them. I don't want them to get far enough to see that. So, no, I don't care about the epic nature of it. The SEC can hate me. F them all and they mama. You feel what I'm saying? All right. Bama State down by 1 with the ball. Baseline out of bounds. 11:32 left in the game. 49-50 in favor of St. Francis. Oh, wow. They just called an illegal screen on the inbounds. That's crazy. Oh, it's a good call, though. They tried to run the elevator screen. And they couldn't close the elevator door before the St. Francis dude got through. And it's a good call. That's a tough call, but it's a good call. Is that who Bama plays in the first round? Robert Morris? Oh, dang. I missed whatever this call was. Is it fair to say the NCAA tournament refs typically hold their whistle? I don't know. I don't really. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, I would hope that they do, but listen, if they hold their whistle and that's probably why you don't get a double dribble versus Virginia, but then you do get the touch foul on the 3. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to say. All I know is Auburn needs to just 20-piece everybody, and the refs won't matter. Donovan, that would be great. Yep. Yeah, they play very similar styles too. Robert Morris plays a similar style to Alabama. Is that what you're saying? When St. Francis breaks this zone or this full court pressure, it's interesting seeing how they operate out of it. They don't really speed up a lot, which is good for them. Okay, now they're playing a little bit more man and they're switching everything. Alabama State is. Ooh, Trey ball. Nice. Trey ball. Only consistency is inconsistency. I feel that. Feel you, my brother. Get the lob. Oh, bro, you got to throw that up, fam. No. Now you throw the lob on the other end. Ooh, tough lay. All right. Alabama State was within 1, and now St. Francis pushed it back out to 6 after a 3 and a nice layup in transition. A step back 3 ain't really what you need. Wow. What was that call? Rapper Moore shoots a ton of threes. Bama doesn't shoot a ton of threes this year. Have you heard anything on something being wrong with Cardwell? I have not heard anything about that. What have you heard in regards to that? After watching the SEC games over the last couple of months, it's crazy to see a stat sheet with only 7 total offensive rebounds. That should have been a foul. See, they deny the post pretty heavily. Does this St. Francis team out of this zone? They do post denial. So I think again it's gonna be interesting to see. You can run, you can run some of that action that Auburn runs down low against this zone because of the way that they move the big man out of the zone. Okay, they're playing man now. St. Francis is playing man now. Corner kick, corner three. Nope. Carwell said he was just cramping. Another three for St. Francis. No, sir, on this one. Transition this time for Alabama State. Euro. Boy, just brick that boy underneath the rim after the Euro step. Oh, tough three, though. Get it back within 3. Cam, yeah, if you're talking about why he exited the game, yeah, he said it was just cramps. Which I still don't understand why he still smoked layup by St. Francis right there. Wide open layup, but it was a big man who didn't look very comfortable. Corner 3 again for Alabama State. Y'all got to get better shots than this, bro. And then a backcourt foul. It looked like uh-oh. Did he hit you that hard, my boy? All right, let's see what happened on this. Rebound. Smacked him in the face. That's a little bit of an acting job. He definitely hit you, but he acted like my boy just tried to behead him. Now, had that been an Auburn game, they be SEC game. They be reviewing this right now for a flagrant. Are they reviewing this for a flagrant right now? Because I'm not listening. They don't look like they're going to no review because everybody ain't huddled up. See, this is all right. They letting people just play basketball. That's what I'm talking about. It's clear he ain't do nothing intentional, bro. Even though dude falling all over the place. Man, this dude, I don't like number 23 for St. Francis. I do not like him already. He do too much falling all over the place whenever he get contact. I don't like him. So look at this. He's slipping. No, I don't like this dude, bro. I don't like number 23 for St. Francis, bro. I don't like him. I don't like him. Another Trey Ball. No, sir. Yeah, St. Francis is awful on the glass, dog. I'm sorry. They do not rebound. They're not even really trying to rebound. You got to throw that lob, man. He's there in the dunker. Throw the lob. That should have been a foul call. You got your dude's 6'11", man. Just throw that over the top. Step back, Trey Ball. No, sir. Outlet. Out. Oh, that's a trip in the open court. Smoke lay. Corner. It's one more. Drive it. Drive it. Yeah. So, all right. If they're gonna, yeah, it's a couple of things I can see versus this St. Francis defense. Back to a 1-point game. It's a couple of things I can see versus St. Francis defense that Auburn could do. Nah, you want to give him baseline, bro. Top tree. Nope. And threes ain't dropping with the same proficiency no more. Here we go. Alabama State's got to stop taking bad shots when they get within one score, though. Every time they've gotten within one score, they take a terrible shot. 7 minutes, 24 seconds. They're down 55-54. I haven't seen a good shot yet once they got into this position. And here we go with another force up three from the top. Should have been a foul call. Not a good shot. Transition. Back down by three. Stop taking bad shots when you get it close, dog. Every time, bro. Terrible shot every single time. State should be up by 20. Why you say that? Let them play that way against us, and we'll make them play. Let who play that way against us? Y'all gotta specify when y'all say stuff like um y'all are using these pronoun descriptors, and like I like when I say something, it's a delay between when y'all hear it and then when you type and reply. It's a delay in me. So like I don't know when you say them. You mean either of these teams? You have San Diego State beating UNC. I don't even remember who I picked in my bracket for that game. If they would just go to the basket, they got a better chance than shooting threes. It's difficult getting to the basket, but like, yes, I agree that they're settling too much from three because they're having this. They're playing against this zone. If Alabama State plays this way against us, okay, Alabama State got to win this game first. State's just not hitting. They're not taking good shots. Like I know they're not hitting them, but they're not good shots. Like they shouldn't want to make bad shots. They should take good shots. That's the better option. All the missed threes could have took the twos. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that they like it's like they're not really doing much actual like action versus this zone. It's a lot of just kind of they're not moving with a lot of intent versus the zone. And that's kind of the problem is that like what they're doing versus the zone works if you're playing a team that's undisciplined. And St. Francis seems to be fairly disciplined in the way that they approach this zone. Um, and so they've got to actually do something because typical zone principles, St. Francis takes us away, right? When you typically have the 2-3 zone, what you want to do is be able to have somebody flash high and you're going to throw it to that person and you operate out of that. St. Francis, the way that they play this zone, this morph 3-2-2-3, is they extend and take that away with the middleman. So you've got to run some different kind of action. And what St. Francis is doing, and again, if we play St. Francis, I'll break this down, is they're actually allowing the dribble drive. So you put the guy in the dunker spot rather than flash him high, you put him in the dunker. And then because you have shooters on the outside, you should allow your point guard to drive past that. And then as you get to the dunker, you should have somebody available there for the drop off, lob over the top, or you're going to have the mid range if that man doesn't step up there in the middle. But they're not doing that. They're running some action now, playing drop coverage against. It looks like they're playing man with some drop coverage against the pick and rolls. All right, and they're switching everything too. This is another advantage of a team like St. Francis that is relatively small everywhere is they can switch everything. Sometimes you have to hit the mid range to warm up for threes. Agreed. That goes for any team. Plus, they look like St. Francis running a match zone. They are. They're running this 2-3-3-2 hybrid zone, but they're switching everything when they go to man. So it still looks very. St. Francis actually, other than the fact that from a zone principle standpoint, they don't run the exact same stuff. They're very similar to what Buzz Williams runs. Honestly, at Texas A&M and the way that they're switching their defenses. Love to beat Bama in the Natty and see a banner in Coleman national runner up. No, I wouldn't love to see that. I wouldn't. I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't want to see Bama have. Y'all are giving Bama to. I don't want to give them success to the point of then just snatching it away from them. I don't want them to have success at all. Like I know. Oh man, it'd be nice to beat them. No, don't even want to see them make the national champ. Y'all don't got enough hate in your heart. Y'all got like I'm usually the one with the pettiness. Oh, it'd be real petty to see them get that far and then Auburn be the one. No, I don't even have pettiness for them. I have hatred. I have hatred. When you have hatred, you don't want to see any success at all. No runners up, no nothing. Round of 32 exit. That's what I'm rooting for. Don't be successful at all. You think Houston was Auburn's best win this year? Yes. Yes, Houston was Auburn's best win this year. Y'all got to get y'all hate up. That's what issue. You need to get your hate up. I know get your weight up is the thing from the channel. Y'all need to get your hate up. Y'all hate levels ain't high enough for me. Hoping that they're successful up into a point. No success at all. None. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. All of y'all. No success at all. Get your hate up. Do better, y'all. Do better. If you're gonna come over here, you need to get your hate up. Y'all could play nice on them all SEC channels. We're like, well, y'all can hate, hate, hate. Three principles. Hate, hate, hate. Now, if they was just gonna make it to the national championship anyway, then yeah, I want to see them lose. But nah, man, lose well before that. Then we ain't gotta have this conversation. There you go, James. First round. Out of here. So they can stop all this Yale talk they had last year. Get them out of here. Get them out. Eject button. Where's the eject button? Like, did you give Cheney a talk today? Gonna need him in that paint. I haven't talked to Cheney, man. Me and Cheney ain't got that kind of relationship. Like we dap each other when we see each other, but I ain't got no relationship like that with him. Alabama State's board bucket down by one again. Compare 21-22 Auburn with 24-25. In your opinion, why does Auburn go farther in the tournament than they did? Much more senior, better outside shooting, much more balance, really better defensively too, other than the Walker Kessler um, paint presence. More scores, like it's just a better team than the 21-22 team is. All right, down by tree. Mm, St. Francis ball. Dang. Oh, I ain't gonna hold you. That should have been an offensive foul for sure on St. Francis that last trip. My boy definitely pushed off with that off arm, full extension. Wow. I thought dude flopped for a minute. You see the replay. Nah, he definitely pushed off. Yikes. Missed call there by the refs. Nice. Nice pocket pass. Oh, then they got the foul call. Let me see it again. He might have been vertical. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. These refs might be floating a little bit towards St. Francis with these calls lately. I'll be sad if he doesn't win National Player of the Year. I won't be sad because again, it's Duke, whatever. But he will have been robbed. Yes, if we lose to either of these teams, I literally will never watch another game, and I've been around since the Lebo days. I will watch literally the first game of the season next year versus in the exhibition if they lose to either one of these teams because I don't care nothing about it. Next year, next season, I'm off it. Makes one of two 4-point game with 5 minutes and 21 seconds left. Do you feel like these refs let the kids play more freely in this tournament? Somebody asked that earlier. A little bit, but good backdoor cuts and one first free throw opportunity coming for Alabama State. One thing you'll notice about defensive players, guys who get backdoored, pause, typically are susceptible to getting backdoor often, pause. I don't even want to see them in the NIT. Thank you, Fly. That's the kind of hate I need to see around here, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody got their hate up in the chat, bro. We don't turn the ball over much either. Correct. No, I know fans seem like, oh, we gotta stop with the lazy passes, da da da. Auburn on average on the season is like 9.5 turnovers a game, which is like super low. 1-point game again. Again, every time Alabama State gets in this position, now they don't have the ball this time. It's another push off there on Frank Francis. Good. Oh, first offensive board for St. Francis. Look at that. These St. Francis guards are using their off arms to push off quite a bit right now. Ooh, turnover. Here we go. All right, here we go. Again, 1-point game. Alabama State with the ball. Are they going to take another step back three? Four minutes and 39 seconds. Double drag. Oh, you had him in the see. All right. Step back three. He made it this time though. But every time they get in this position, that's the shot that they get. 2-point lead for Alabama State right now. Jesus says to pray for your enemies. All right, cool. I don't know what they got to do with me. Not that I ain't got nothing against Jesus. I have everything against Alabama. I pray they lose. I ain't even wasting no prayers on them, fam. I ain't gonna hold you. Pray they see that floppy. You know what, man? We here, fam. We here. I pray that they're healthy and they lose fully healthy so they don't have no excuses. That's what I pray for. Be in good health. I pray that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers everywhere but on the athletic surfaces. I ain't got no love for them. They ain't even my enemy, bro. I just don't like you. You're not an enemy. You're nothing. I'm a little bit more Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? We coming through and we slaughtering the cattle and salting the ground, family. You feel me? I'm a little bit more Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? I love Jesus. Love him. Let me get some of that Israelite energy, though. You feel me? I'm like an old school judge. You know what I'm saying? Go read the book of Judges. Samson them. You know what I'm saying? Gideon them. That's what kind of time I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Samson, you know, he ran through there. He brought the building down on it. He's like, if I got to kill myself, ain't nobody walking out this mug. Sam was like, everybody. If me too, we all dying today. I don't care. But you definitely dying. That's what type of time I'm on. Whose auntie chair do you stay? This actually is my mother-in-law's old chair right here. No, this is actually the dude who owns this house. This is a nice. Hold on, this is a nice chair. This is a nice chair. You might not love this pet. This is a nice chair. We need you to settle down, Jess. Are you trying to joke? This is a nice chair. This is very comfortable living room furniture. This is adult. So yeah, you're not finna make me feel upset. But we did buy this from the guy who owned the house when we purchased this. But you're not finna make me feel no kind of way about my furniture. That's what we're not gonna do. I think we have a very nice, friendly, warm decor in this home. Eye for an eye, and only if my eye is out do I take yours too. But your eye first. You just know that chair. Thought you was trying to joke, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to joke on my chair, man. I like my chair. I could have sworn I just knocked some down, but I don't see nothing that fell. Whatever. This game is close. Bama State up by 2 at the free throw line. 3 minutes and 46 seconds left. Brick. Gotta have to high step up. I need everybody to step up. Double digits for every player. 100 piece in everybody. Oh, he missed them both. 70% free throw shooter missed them both. Alabama State 2-point lead. 3 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game. St. Francis look a little unsure on some of these passes, bro. Yeah, that Alabama State defense getting to these boys, man. Shot clock violation. Did they call a foul on that? Oh, shot clock violation. I was about to say that's a weak foul call. Yeah, St. Francis seems like they tightened up a little bit on this offense, bro. And last couple of scores that they definitely had like some push offs because they was trying to get away from that pressure. That this Bama State pressure kind of getting to them a little bit. All right, playing with a lead, I think for the first time, definitely first time in his half. Mm, mm. Nice. Oh, you got to finish that, my boy. Here we go. St. Francis going the other way. Opposite corner kick. Slow it down. Let's get some offense, man. Y'all offenses look very stagnant in the half court these last couple of trips. Here we go with that push off again. Nice lay. Ooh, tie ball game. Nice. Here we go. 2:25 left. Foul, bro. What was that shot? Wow. Heck of a shot. He got fouled, though. It should have definitely been. Yeah, I don't like the way they're officiating this game. It doesn't seem very equal on the officiating here. Alabama State's not getting whistles on a lot of these drives. Ooh, cookies. 4-point lead. Alabama State up after the turnover. Somebody called this and said Alabama State was going to come back and win the game. They're up 4 right now with 1:36 left. Here we go. Oh, they brought the band and everything too. Alabama State turning up in the stands. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? 4-point game. The 3-point shot has dwindled from St. Francis here in the second half. Let's see here. Let's go team statistics here. They are down to 40%. They were shooting. Oh, shoot. They're still 42.9% on the game, though. Oh, that wasn't a foul. It looked like a foul live, but it wasn't a foul. I ain't mad at that. No foul call there. Somebody give me an update on the Auburn baseball game. I'm not looking at the stat broadcast. What's the update on the Auburn baseball game versus State right now? Here we go. 4-point game. Alabama State leading 66-62. Minute 35 left. Deep tray. Yappers. Ooh, that's a heck of a shot there, young man. 1-point game. They set a lot of ghost screens for Alabama State. Like they don't really set solid screens almost at all. Good lay. Tough. 3-point game. Tough lay. Alabama State's been getting downhill a lot better in the second half. And that's been the difference really for them offensively is their ability to get downhill. Another three from he's hunting that three. Alabama State doing a good job. Ooh, almost another turnover. Great defense. Step back tray ball. Boom, another one. Tie ball game. St. Francis. Are we headed to overtime? 9-6, bottom of the fifth. 6. Why they gave up 6 daggone points, man? Come on, man. 6 runs in first 5 innings. What's up with the starting pitching for Auburn these last couple of games, man? I like the bats out there doing their thing. 9 runs, but god dang, man. 6 runs? Come on, son. Tie ball game. Under 40 seconds left. Let's go. First day intrigue. Yeah, I'll be right back, y'all. All right, we back, y'all. Alabama State side out of bounds. Playing for the honor of getting clapped Thursday. Hey, man, listen, bro. You know, just because you might lose the next game don't mean you want to lose this one. All right, get downhill, bro. Hey, Robert, you talking now. 4 overtimes. That's the first solid screen they've. Ooh, the roll man has been terrible in getting that ball. Ooh, that's foul. 11.8 left. Alabama State will have the ball after this foul right here. That roll man for Alabama State, every single time this guard gets downhill, should have an easy layup, and he overruns it every single time. Absolutely awful job of attacking the boards. He has had that missed layup on the rim run off of this pick and roll like 3 times in the game, and he has overrun it every single time. All right. Is this a shooting foul? What are we doing here? Are they going to the line or are they going to have another? They're huddling up, so it's going to be another sideline out of bounds. 11.8 left. So what we want here is a missed shot, of course. So they go into overtime. At least be a little bit more tired. And then they have to make the trip. You understand me? Oh, it's a 1-1. Ugh. Gotta make your free throws. Gotta make your free throws. That's somebody, mama. That they look like Cheryl Swoops. a little bit. Those guys are going to lay it all on the line. Who, those guys being whom? It's the coach's wife. She look like Cheryl Swoops a little bit. A more heavy set version of Cheryl Swoops. 1-1. Missed the front end. Here we go. Oh, who carried the fool out there ball? Turnover. Oh, they got it right back. Here we go. Off his leg. Alabama State ball with 2.7 left. Timeout. Let's advance it. Hey, y'all lucky he didn't call that carry, though, bro. He's sitting there complaining about what he thought he got fouled. He carried the fool out this ball right here. Well, where did you think you got fouled, bro? Man, get your weakness, bro. Come on, man. 2.7 left. Are we going to have a March Madness moment? First game out the gate? Both teams are less talented than Auburn, but will play hard as humanly possible. Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, it's win or go home time, dog. Even if you got more talent than Auburn, play it all on the line, baby. All hard at this point. What are they drawing up out of this timeout? Y'all got it. The call is correct. It's definitely Alabama State basketball. I don't know what they're looking at. Somebody asked me, was I going to be listening to commentators? I plan, other than this first game, I plan on being there. So I ain't going to be listening to nobody. Putting on for the hometown. I hear you. Gump Town. Shout out to the Gump. Yeah, Alabama State ought to be winning this game right now off of nothing but the fact that they've missed a couple. Oh, they got to go full court, 3.4 seconds. Sure be nice to have Trey Donaldson right now. Oh, they going Hail Mary, bro? What are we doing? Oh, they got, oh shit. What? Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo. The most fumble. It finds an Alabama State player. Yo, that's crazy. Wow. That's got to be, yo, you do not want to lose a basketball game like that. Oh my goodness. It was an awful play design. Everything about this was terrible, bro. They had two guys in the same spot. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yo. They put too much time on the clock, though. It should have only been 0.7 left. Wow. Is that how this game is about to end? Are we going to get some more magic on the other end? Let's see. Yes, it did look like the prayer Jordan Hare, folks. It did. Like awful throw, underthrown, like wow. Crazy. Here we go. Full court heave, way too short. That's ball game. Alabama State wins. All right, y'all. Give me a few minutes. We're going to shut this stream down. We're going to go in here and we're going to talk about reactions to this game. And we're going to brief preview of the next game versus Alabama State and Auburn. I'll holler at y'all over on the other stream. Absolutely crazy situation. Make sure you like the video before you get out of here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the content. I'll be back at y'all with the reaction stream in just a few minutes once I get set up back in the office.